morning. I'm your host, Sam McGregor, here with your co-host, Erin Tracy, and welcome back to Channel 25 News. It's a rainy and foggy Wednesday morning here in Boston. After months of gathering footage today, on April 19, 1775, we finally have the inside scoop on what went down during the First Continental Congress meeting. Let's roll the clips.
Hi, I'm Nora Moss, reporting here at Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on September 5th, 1774. I'm here with Patrick Henry and John Adams. So can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Hi, I'm John Adams. As a father of three and a lawyer, life is always moving. There's no time to stop, especially with things like this going on. I used to not get involved in political issues as I am now. I'm thankful for my loving wife for dealing with my ill-managed temper, which I see a lot of. My family is the reason I want to improve the quality of life here in the colonies. Massachusetts is my country.
Ever since I was elected to the House of Burgesses in 1765, I have always been involved in political issues in the colonies. I have always believed that the colonies should come together as one, which is why I helped to create the Virginia Committee of Correspondence last year. I feel bad leaving my ill wife at home in Virginia with my children, but I am not a Virginian, but an American, and something needs to be changed, even if I have to make sacrifices to bring this change.
What was the major reasoning behind the formation of this Congress?
The discrimination and taxes imposed by the British all contributed to this loose congregation. However, when the Intolerable Acts were imposed as punishment for our actions at the Boston Tea Party, we decided that we must take action for our rights that were being denied.
56 delegates met here today from every colony, excluding Georgia, to discuss our future plans to respond to the Intolerable Acts.
If they want to fight, we'll give them a fight. We won't back down until we finish what we have started.
Okay, on that note, can you please describe what happened on the night of December 16th, 1773 in Boston Harbor?
Although I wasn't a fan of this plan, a group of rebellious colonists disguised as Indians, including the Sons of Liberty, dumped 342 chests of tea from 3 separate British ships into the harbor because of the recently imposed Tea Act. The Tea Act wasn't actually a tax on tea, it actually lowered the price for the colonists, but this cheap tea imported by the British East India Company gave the British a monopoly on the tea trade. I was sure the British would respond to the Tea Party, but I had no idea how harsh their punishment would be.
So what happened at this meeting earlier today?
All of our ideas differed significantly, from violence to peaceful protest. I proposed the Suffolk Resolves, which I drew up shortly before coming to the big meeting. We must not forget we cannot depart from this place until the business of Congress is complete.
Radical is the way to go. We have to show that we are able to put up a fight, just as the British can. The Suffolk Resolves was endorsed today at the meeting. It promotes us to stockpile weapons, boycott British goods, and disband from the crown, as well as forming militias in every colony. Also, the Continental Association was adopted, called for almost a complete stop to trade with Great Britain and the West Indies, and encouraged domestic manufacturing. Additionally, we authorized committees of safety to oversee our mandates and take actions against enemies of American liberty.
Thank you, Patrick and John. I was informed that the Congress promised to reconvene if their grievances were not addressed by the Crown. Let's send it back to Sam and Erin in the station.
Thanks, Nora. In the following months, we were able to follow some of the delegates from the First Continental Congress. As Patrick Henry continued on his radical rampage, we were able to track him down at the Second Virginia Convention, and we captured this.
23rd, 1775, and I'm here at St. John's Church in Virginia, where Patrick Henry is delivering a speech as we speak. Let's tune in on that.
It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? If life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death!
Breaking news! We just got word that battle broke out at Lexington and Concord earlier this morning. We were able to send reporters to the scene once the chaos began to calm down. Let's send it to Julie, live in Lexington.
Good morning, Erin and Sam.
Julie, what caused this battle to begin?
Word spread that the British are seeking Samuel Adams and John Hancock, leaders of the Massachusetts provincial government, because they are attempting to form a militia. Adams and Hancock are in hiding in Lexington, away from their traces of leadership in Boston. The secretive meeting is a form of treason and represents the colonists' will to take extreme and illegal measures. British were also marching to seize and destroy stockpiles of weapons that were hid in preparation for forming a militia, as proposed in the Suffolk Resolves. It is clear that the British do not want the colonists to revolt. Oh, Paul Revere, a word please.
Yes, briefly.
Sir, can you please describe your account of the events that have occurred?
It's all kind of a blur. Dr. Joseph Warren of Boston informed me to ride into Lexington with the news that the regular troops were coming. To warn the townspeople of the approaching British troops, I contacted a friend of mine to place lanterns in the Old North Church. 1 lantern if the British came by land, and 2 if they traveled by sea of the Charles River. I rode to Boston's North End, where I rode over to Charlestown and clarified that Colonel Conant saw the 2 lanterns in the North Church. I borrowed a horse from a local merchant and head off to inform Isaac Hall of Medford, captain of the local militia, while avoiding British troops in the area. I finally reached Hancock and Adams in Lexington and informed as many houses as I could along the way as well.
But he didn't ride alone. I too carried the same message as Revere, and we met around midnight and had to check all the traces that military accessories were hidden in Concord. Samuel Prescott came to help, but we were suddenly intercepted by British patrols. Luckily, Prescott and I escaped, but Revere was captured.
He took my horse, and I was forced to walk back on foot to Lexington Green. When I made it there, I was able to catch the beginning of the battle. The British made a short halt. When 1 gun was fired, I heard a report, turned my head, and saw the smoke in front of the troops. They immediately gave a great shout, ran a few paces, and then the whole fired.
4:30, the shot heard around the world, officially symbolizing the beginning of the battle and the revolution for the colonists. As of right now, 49 colonists have been killed and 39 are injured. For the British, 73 have been killed and 174 are wounded. The colonists were able to force the British to retreat back to Boston, defying the odds. Who knew that such a small and unofficial militia could take down the mighty British? It may be the colonists' ability to fight in a minute's time, giving selected members of the militia the title Minutemen. This is Julie signing off from Lexington Green. Now let's send it back to Sam and Aaron in the studio.
Is this really a fight for colonial representation, or is it now a revolt for complete independence from the British Crown? Although Paul Revere claimed the British shot first, how accurate is it? Considering he created propaganda in the past and is an active son of liberty, are his version of events really accurate, or are the colonists willing to twist the truth to gain liberty?
It's crazy how seconds before we got word of this news, we were airing a clip of Patrick Henry talking about how war couldn't be avoided, and now we are in the midst of one.
Will the Crown adopt the grievances of the colonists, or will they leave them more persecuted and miserable than ever?
How many more lives have to be lost before a conclusion is made? Will the colonists break free or forever be held under British reign?
Whatever happens, make sure you stay tuned to Channel 25 as we dig deeper into the American Revolution.